The microbiologist places these cells in distilled water. That should be distilled water. As you can tell, it must have been getting late. And the answer is? What? B. Water moves into the cell because the cell is hypertonic to the distilled water. Now, to me, a more appropriate answer would be that salt ions moved out of the cell and water moved into the cell, because the salt ions would definitely be, they what they wanted. So here you go. We're going with what they wanted. What's that? Raise your hand and answer. What is that? Yes, ma'am, Bailey. I mean, no, what is that a slide of? All of that. Yes, ma'am. It is a plant cell. Somebody said onion cell, and you know what? That's true. Onion or plant. I took a picture with our microscope.
How did you take a picture of it?
You know our microscope that's hooked up to the computer, and I told you I could take pictures of your cheek cells and email them to your parents, and nobody wanted to do it?
I don't remember that.
I think, you know something, if somebody emailed me a picture of my child's cheek cell, I would have been just thrilled to death, had it framed. Alright, here's what you got to do. There are, if you look at those cells, there are 5 cell parts that you can see. Wait, one at a time, raise your hand. Somebody that hasn't answered a question. You've answered 15. Put your hand down. Yes, ma'am. You cannot see the ribosomes. They're too little. But that is a good guess, because yes, ribosomes are in the cell. If you have not answered a question, yes, ma'am. The cell wall. Yes, ma'am. The cell membrane. Yes, ma'am.
The nucleus.
The nucleus is there.
How many is that?
I lied. There's 4 things you see. One more. No, if you have not answered a question, raise your hand. Hannah Wilson. What is the 4th thing you can see? Yes, ma'am, the cytoplasm.
Give her a lazy.
Is that the little white dot?
This is the nucleus.
Yeah, that's the big red thing.
The cytoplasm is all that.
Oh.
And look. All right, next question. Everybody look. Here's my cell wall. Here's my cell membrane. Do you see that empty space right there?
Yep.
What is happening to the cell? Yes. It is plasmolizing. And I'll tell you why. I took this picture the day after our lab, after that onion had sat out all night, and the water started evaporating, so it started plasmolizing. And here, you see it pulling apart here? All right.
Heck yeah, it is.
Breakfast.
That's the cheek stuff.
What is this? It is it's a cheek cell. You could also say animal cell if you wanted to.
Prokaryote.
It is no, it is not prokaryotic.
I mean,
all right, there are
know what I meant.
3 things that you can see on this cell. If you have not answered a question, raise your hand. Yes, ma'am. We can see the cell membrane. Yes, ma'am, Ms. Scarborough? The nucleus and Ms. McCutcheon. The cytosol. Now, guys, those are mine because the cheek cell slides we made the day before dried up. So I had to start over, stain them and everything. And I could have emailed your songs to do that. Alrighty, what's that?
That's
That's like a
cellular.
Let me see if I can.
one of them. What's the Sunday magic?
What'd you have for breakfast?
All right, are you ready? Which letter is pointing to the phospholipids? The phospholipids. Yes, ma'am. B. All right. Which letter is pointing? That's too easy. The questions on the test are like, what is letter A pointing to? Yes, ma'am, Kirsten. A glycophospholipid. All right, everybody look. Look at this structure. Right here. What is this structure? All right, everybody look. Shh. We know that this is a carbohydrate, so what is the prefix for carbs? Glyco. And what's it sitting on? So it is a
Glycoprotein.
glycoprotein.
That's what I was trying to say.
All right. Where would oxygen and carbon dioxide diffuse in and out of the cell? Someone who has not answered, like Katrina back there. Where would, in what part of the cell would carbon dioxide and oxygen go in and out? Tell me. It is not C. Somebody who has not answered. Look on your fluid mosaic. Yes, sir, Kevin.
D.
Where's D? D.
No. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Look on your fluid mosaic.
Thanks.
It is on there. Anime. What? B, the phospholipids.
I thought D was pointing.
I already had it out.
All right. No, I thought you said D.
These point to like the cholesterol. Idiot.
Say B is important. All right, can I have your attention? Look at the structure labeled C. The structure labeled C. Notice that the structure labeled C has a tunnel running through it. What do we call the structure labeled C? Yes, sir.
Protein channel.
A protein channel. Now, look at me. If this was a protein with a channel running through it that only allowed water to pass through, What would we call that particular protein? Yes, ma'am. No. All right, everybody looking at me. If you open your mouth again to have idle conversation, you are dismissed. Let's use our brains. Water goes in and out of the cell through osmosis. Osmosis is passive transport. No energy required. It can't be a pump. Whoa, 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 whoa. These integral proteins are amphipathic. Amphipathic. They have a hydrophilic head and a hydrophobic middle. That's why water can't go through just any channel protein. It goes through a special channel protein called a what? Nope, all protein channels are integral. They go all the way through. Yes, ma'am. Peripheral? Nope, peripherals don't go all the way through. They're only on the edge. What? Guys, look at me. When you think of water, what prefix means water? Who said it? Aqua. And then the word that means whole. Aqua what? Somebody heard it. No. A hole through something is called a
Channel. Tunnel.
pore.
Pore. Aquapore.
Aquaporin.
The S right.
All right. If this protein was transporting hydrogen ions only, what would the name of this, and it is an active transport, what would the name of this protein be? Hydrogen ions only. Yes, Brandon. No, not a hydrogen pump. What is? No, look at me. What is a hydrogen ion? Yes, ma'am. Not protein, but proton pump. A hydrogen ion is only a proton pump.
Because a negative and a positive.
Guys, why can't water go through the phospholipids? Water is polar, and the phospholipids are charged. What kind of charge?
Negative.
Negative charge. Guys, you'd be surprised how much of your cell is negatively charged. Your DNA has a negative charge. All because of what? Now this is a bonus question. What part of the phospholipid, I know it's the head, but what makes that head negatively charged? Bonus question. Brandon?
Fats and oils.
The what?
The fats and oils in them.
No. Look, guys, our phospholipids. We have a we got a head, and we got lipid tails. Lipid tails are hydrophobic. They're fat. They hate water. What makes these heads like water and be negatively charged?
Electron.